Hello, everybody. Go get your cup of coffee. Gather round. What's going on in the world today? Gather round. Hello there, Kathy. Hey, Wanda Howell. Hey, Gina Marie. How's everybody doing on this fine night? Hey, Beverly. Myrtle. Palm Beach, Peter. How's your mama doing, Peter? Hey, Michelle. Hey, Teresa. Hazel. How's everybody doing? I got a question I'm gonna ask y'all. I'm gonna ask y'all a common sense, intelligent question. We're gonna let a few more people get in here. I did not go outside today, but I went out there at night. For a few minutes I went outside at night. Put the tires on the pontoon boat. Hey, well, that's good. That's good, Peter. Hey, Denise, Willa Catcher, Becca B. Man, I figured I better get on here and give y'all something to do. Oh, Tammy took the tires over there this morning. Two pontoon boat trailer tires. Not car tires. $50. I might be behind the times, y'all. They charge $50 to take two tires off and put two tires on. That seems like that's a lot to me. Can't go to bed. That seemed like a lot to me, y'all. Does that sound like a lot, y'all? It is a lot. Yeah, man. That's almost like as much as one of the tires costs. I don't know if they doing it just 'cause it's Tammy or what, you know? Say he's an honest man, Tammy. It seems like to me that's a lot of money. Oh, y'all.
down and explain it like I explained it to you this morning.
They can charge that because I can't do it. I could do it, I'd have to go buy 2 more crowbars. I used to have crowbars, y'all. I know Stephen, at one time or another, he got them. And I didn't have nothing to change it with. I know how to do it. I mean, I've done it a many a time, you know. But I didn't have nothing to pry with, you know. But anyway, I went out there tonight and put them on the boat. I got my little boat ready to go. I'm planning on going to the river in the morning. The river is a little over a foot deep. 1 foot and a quarter deep. Well, I'll show y'all here. I'll show y'all what I look at every day of my life. And I'm going to give y'all this common sense question and see if anybody can answer it right. All right, y'all see this? Now that hump right there, is about 3 foot. So that's when we went down to the sportsman club, the river got high. That's when it was. So it's all the way at the end here. Right there is what the date is. That line, this line, you see? This line right here. That's 1.5 feet deep. And see where the river is now? Oh, you know, I mean, me and Tammy might go in the morning. I mean, I'm wanting to, you know. I don't know why that does that. So y'all ready for the question? Yeah, we'll be able to see the bottom. If I go tomorrow, and I think I'm gonna try to go, whatever I hit, I'll be able to see it. So if I go tomorrow, and I'm planning on going, we're gonna find out. All right, if you was on a 5th floor of a building, You got me now? If you was on the 5th floor of a building and somebody was coming and you was gonna have to jump off the balcony into a swimming pool. You understand what I'm saying? I mean, you don't have no choice. You got to jump. The pool's only 4 foot deep. So you got two choices here. Do you just jump in the pool just like it is, 4 foot deep? Or do you throw a mattress out there and jump on the mattress? The pool's only 4 foot deep. And you don't have no choice. You got to jump. So you throw a mattress in the pool and jump on the mattress, or just jump in the pool. And this ain't no trick question neither. I see 3 mattresses. The pool is 4 foot deep. You don't have no choice. You got to jump. All right, Judy Johnson said, just jump in the pool. Depends on who's coming. Hey, I'm telling you, don't say it depends on who's coming. Because you don't have no choice. You got to jump. You got to jump. I'm telling you that. You got to jump. It don't matter who's coming. I'm telling you, you got to jump. The pool ain't but 4 foot deep. I wouldn't jump. Well, you don't have no choice, see. Because whoever's coming in the door, they coming to get you. So, see, I'm telling you that you ain't got no choice. This is not a trick question, y'all. Alona said it makes no difference. Hey there, Melissa. I think the pool. So why do I have to jump? Because somebody's coming in, a bad person's coming in to get you. That's what I'm saying. Forget about it. I mean, you got to jump. This ain't a trick question, Wanda. Hey, I'm doing fine. I seen this on Mythbusters. No. And that's what I'm saying. I mean, it's not a trick question. Just jump. Wouldn't have time to mess with a match. Hey, y'all keep trying to think it's a trick question. It's not a trick question. You know, like, in other words, what is the safest? Throw a mattress in the pool and jump on the mattress, or just jump in the pool? Hazel said just jump. What was the question? if you was on the 5th floor and a bad person was coming in there and you knew you had to jump, would you, and the pool ain't but 4 foot deep. Now, it's not very deep. So you just jump in the pool, or you got a mattress there, you can throw a mattress in the pool and jump on the mattress. Which one would be the safest for you? Yeah. Yeah, it's a high jump. Bro, they tested this on Mythbusters. It's going to hurt either way. Both mattress first into the pool. They tested this on Mythbusters. If you jump in the pool without the mattress, you're going to hit the bottom of the pool. If you jump on the mattress, you won't hit the bottom of the pool. What y'all think now? No, the mattress don't sink. It ain't no trick question. So you hear me? I mean, 4 foot of water, you're gonna hit the bottom of the pool. Do you know, Timmy? 4 foot of water, you jump without the mattress, you're gonna hit the bottom of the pool. Y'all still say mattress? Yeah, that's right. The mattress would kind of break the fall. Hey, the water kind of break the fall. The mattress would still help even if it sunk. Michelle says she'd take the mattress. Melissa says she'd take the mattress. You know, you're talking about a pretty long jump, you know. If you jump on the mattress, you don't hit the bottom of the pool. I would just jump. So Cindy said she would just jump without the mattress. They took a dummy, y'all, that's like, you know, they got this dummy that's like made up like a real person with the bones, the backbone, the hip, everything like a real person. And they pulled him up in the air and let it go and let him jump and let him fall. I'm trying to give y'all a little bit of time to think. You do hit the bottom of the pool when you jump without the mattress. When you jump on the mattress, you do not hit the bottom of the pool. So anybody want to change their mind? Hey, Josh. Josh got a bunch of girlfriends, on. Jean Ray says the mattress. No, there ain't no balcony. Danny, the guy would get me while I was trying to drag the mattress. I'm sticking with the mattress. I would choose the pool over the mattress. I would just jump. I would hide behind the door. I know everybody thinks like there's a trick. There ain't no trick, y'all. I'm gonna give y'all a hint, y'all. One of them hurts you bad. One of them about breaks you. It breaks your hip. It breaks your back in two places. And the other one don't do as much damage to you, to your body. They both do damage to your body. Yep, it's a free fall. Can't swim, so jumping wouldn't save me. Hey, I mean, the pool's 4 foot now. Lots of injuries for sure. Injuries for sure. I still say the pool. The answer's gonna surprise y'all. Yeah, you can. Hey, Shannon, we'll just let you hide and pray. But the man's gonna get you that's coming in the door. He's gonna get you. He's either gonna get you or the pool's gonna get you. One or the other, you know. Pool is a better choice for someone who can swim. Hey, the pool's 4 foot. All you gotta do is stand up. See, I'll quit saying that. It's only 4 foot of water. I'm not jumping straight into it. But that's all it is 4 foot of water. You know, that's the problem. It's only 4 foot. The mattress, breaks you all up. Uh, y'all hear me? the mattress, if you jump into the mattress, it breaks you all to pieces. And then if you jump without the mattress, you better off. But it'll still like do some damage. Also, it'll still do some damage to you. Yeah, jumping on the mattress, y'all, man, I guess like, it don't give much. Mattress goes down about a foot. The mattress goes down about a foot and then stops. And then if you jump without the mattress, you got 4 foot of water to cushion the fall. So the jumping without the mattress is safer. But it'll still do some damage to you because you do hit the bottom of the pool. I seen that on Mythbusters. They had a skeleton man, and they had a doctor to like do x-rays on the jumps. And they was a doctor, like I say, doing the x-rays. And the one that's jumping on the mattress broke their back in 2 places, broke their hip, like kind of crushed their hip. Yeah, crash test dummy, that's what I was trying to think about. And then they had like the state of the art, It's made just like the human being. And they could x-ray it and tell you what, the damage. I thought that was interesting, but like, to be honest, y'all, I mean, I would have thought the mattress would have been better myself. But it don't give, It goes down a foot, and that's a real sudden stop. I don't know if Stephen had no crash test done, but they had about every toy and every new toy, they come out with. I think I heard y'all talking about it, one day. Y'all remember them Teddy Ruxpins? They talked. I don't know what channel I seen it on, but I don't think it was on here, but it might have been Tammy's channel, but y'all was talking about the Cabbage Patch dolls and stuff. They had them. They had every toy. I would spend a lot on Christmas. Oh yeah, I know what you're talking about. I know what you're talking about, Melissa. I do now. Stephen had one of them game consoles. I think we bought 2 different ones. But I remember I think they was two that he had. And he would play it, you know. But like he didn't really he ain't somebody that like to sits in front of a game console playing it day and night. He would play it a little bit, and then Stephen was an outside young. I used to love playing Mario on Nintendo. Yeah, that's what he had, Kathy. But I think he had two different ones. I think they come out with one, then they come out with another, you know, the same company. Nah, they ain't never had no Atari, Tammy. Nah, this was the same company. They was both Nintendo. I got slung off the wakeboard of a boat was running, about 40. And they say when you get slung wide in a turn, you are going twice as fast. Yeah, you are. Yeah. You are like, if you slinging, like you talking about, if you slinging somebody, you're going fast now. I didn't know. I didn't particularly care too much about that myself. But Stephen, you couldn't sling him. You couldn't sling him fast enough, you know. They didn't. He didn't never had no PlayStation. They see Nintendo come out with. I think it was Nintendo, and then they come out with a Super Nintendo. I like classic Pac-Man, Pac-Woman. I didn't ever. Hey y'all, I didn't ever get into that stuff. I mean that. You know, I growed up during that time of the arcades. You know, I just never. I just never got into it. Yeah, I don't think we ever had a GameCube. Right then, the first one was better. Yeah, I'm telling you, Christine and Stephen, they had all that stuff, you know. And they got a lot, you know, 'cause we would take Tammy's money and kind of pay the bills. And then my money was like party money. Y'all, that's what cause it took about everything Tammy made to pay the bills, you know. And then my money was party money, but I made a pretty good bit, you know. So it kind of wound out that, oh, well, we're doing, you know, near about everything on my money, you know. But like I say, Tammy's paying bills. She ain't never complained one day about having to pay bills. I didn't ever play those arcade games, but I stood a long time at the Pac-Man machine while my boyfriend played Pac-Man. Yeah, I just didn't ever get into that Pac-Man. Man, I just didn't get into it. And I was actually a pretty good pool player, but I didn't ever care nothing about it. And we used to go places just to go have something to do. Me and Tammy'd go with another couple. Me and Tammy go with another couple, and we'd play pool and stuff. But man, I didn't care nothing about it. Danny, you would like Guitar Hero. I don't know if I played that or not, Tim. Yeah, Stephen played it, but I don't think we had no Guitar Hero team.
Y'all played it, I tell you.
Stephen played it, Tim, but like we didn't have one.
Oh, no, not me and you did, but
They
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 had one.
they played it over there at Wilbur's. Somebody over there had one. I heard that Gene Simmons, that's man Kiss. He said that Guitar Hero was hard. But I ain't never even, I've never even the drum thing and all that. I've never done that. Y'all, it about I don't know, about 4 o'clock today. It started cooling down. Cause man, I wasn't joking last night about, I'm tired of going outside and just roasting, man. Just roasting. I'm tired of that. But it got cool. I didn't go out at 4 o'clock, but it started getting cooler and cooler. I went out there and put them tires on the pontoon boat and doing two or three little things, two or three little minor things. Put the trolling motor on the boat, cause when I go down to the river, I'm gonna be using the trolling motor. Cause I don't want to go fast. But that river, y'all, is, y'all know I got a good memory. I reckon y'all know. And it's unbelievable to me how that river's changed. Like how the rocks ain't never changed. But like how the sands come in there and washed. I played RPG, like Animals Crossing and Harvest Moon. There was a game I know that y'all probably remember called Asteroids. And we had a buddy. You start out with, I think, 3 spaceships. And he would play for hours. And when he walked off, he would have the whole top of the screen lined up with spaceships, you know. It was unbelievable how good he was. I watched a video of all that stuff, you know. Yeah, yeah, it's old. Yep, Hazel said y'all hit the like button. And now Tammy used to like that air hockey. Oh, I don't know how we used to would swing it, but every once in a while Tammy could get to the bowling alley. I don't know how. I don't know how she swung that, but we'd meet at the bowling alley, you know. I mean, I didn't have no car. She didn't have one. So I can tell you this right here. Let me see. Uh, somebody look up when Blue Jean Blues by ZZ Top come out. Cause that was going on pretty hot and heavy, the Blue Jean Blues at the, you know, they had a jukebox. And did y'all see that Bonnie Tyler died? Total eclipse of the heart. 1975. So I was 15 years old. So Tammy was 14, see. See, I didn't have no car then. Hey, y'all, it's gonna be a long summer in this house. I wind up doing that about every year, you know. It's gonna be a long one. Yeah, I liked her too, you know. I went and looked her up. Uh, I seen it, you know, you see all that stuff and like you don't know whether to believe it or not. And she did pass. She had two good songs, Total Eclipse of the Heart, and they was another not real popular. I used to like that song. She's got Betty Davis eyes. We all talking about, we's all like, talking like, man, who's Betty Davis? Y'all remember that? And you know, there's a girl on there, you don't ever see her no more. Her husband passed. I think her name was, on here, was Deborah Snow Kelly. I Well, you know, her husband passed and she fell out, you know. But a long time ago, yeah. And one day we was watching TV, bunch of us, you know, and she showed us Betty Davis. I said, man, she's got Betty Davis eyes. She's got Betty Davis eyes. You loved Betty Davis? So the bowling alley used to be kind of a hangout, you know. You know, the bowlers would, you know, they'd be having them tournaments and stuff. And they had, I reckon, that's what made me think about everything is they had arcade games and pool tables and a jukebox, and it was kind of a hangout, you know, like where we used to go. They served, let's see, I don't know, I know people used to drink in there. I don't think they served it, but people used to drink in there. And there was a Dairy Queen. It's still where it is now. And a lot of times we'd go over there and get us a Dairy Queen hamburger. You know, that's when it was good. You know, like really good. And I don't know if any of y'all remember this. Do y'all remember Dairy Queen used to be a big hamburger? Not them not them little baby buns. It used to be a big bun. But I mean, man, hey, you know, I don't believe that it's as good as it used to be. I mean, I just don't believe it. I just ain't no way I believe it's like it used to be. I mean, uh, I know the burger ain't as big. And and it was called a belt buster. And man, I used to love them quarter pounders with cheese from McDonald's. And they don't seem the same to me. Nothing at Burger King, nothing seems the same to me no more. Hey y'all, I mean, tell me it's just me that they hadn't changed the recipe. Is it just me, y'all, or it's the same recipe? I ain't joking. Hamburgers were the best when They were 5 for $1. It's not just you. Nothing tastes the same. You're right, Danny. The ingredients have changed for profit. You're right, Danny. They add more additives to the food nowadays. Hey, I mean, I mean, hey, I mean, I can eat that stuff, but it ain't, it ain't good. Look, Tammy, this is something we eat every now and then, y'all. When she went to town today to get them tires changed, she stopped by the Dairy Queen and they got like a 5-piece chicken dinner. And they give you a little cup of gravy and some French fries. And, I mean, I wound up like giving the dogs mine, I mean, I ate a little bit of it. It just seems like to me that like nothing just don't taste good no more. Like it used to. What's Jeannie talking about? Jeannie loves real. I love real too. Kathy told me that there's a bunch of people getting sick from eating fruit and like lettuce and stuff. She said it's a big thing. She said Taco Bell, it ain't selling lettuce on their products now. Y'all heard anything about that? And like, like, bag lettuce, which is what we buy, but we ain't ate none in probably 3 weeks, cause we've kind of been eating salad,
I'm on the hill list. I didn't buy bag list.
Yeah, but I ain't ate none, Tammy, have you?
You ate it salad. I mean, a hill list.
Yeah, but I ain't ate none in probably 3 weeks, Tammy.
No, I ain't ate none of it.
E. coli outbreak. It's bad here in Michigan. Don't get the bag lettuce. Get the head instead. It's safer for consume. I mean, I was watching the news this morning trying to find out what they're doing over yonder in Iraq. And I mean, I ain't hear nothing about it on the news. All I heard them talking about was this. They ran this man that was running for senator in Maine off. I called up Kathy. I said, I'm fitting to go live. Is there any new news? She told me about the fruit thing and Kathy knows what's going on in the world, y'all. She said, yeah, people's lost their mind. Let her alone in here. Sometimes she's in here, sometimes she ain't, y'all. She was really and kind of truly what she was saying was people think they know you and they really don't know you, but they think they do. And then they just think of something of you and they go with it, is what she was saying, like. And I think that's probably true, I mean, I ain't saying that for everybody. She's not neither, but she thinks she's saying like people think they know us. And I mean, you don't, People don't know us like they think they do. Everybody acts different when they on the live than what they are in real life.
I don't.
You don't, Timmy?
No. I mean, I guess I'm not as funny in real life, Other than that, I'm pretty much.
Timmy ain't said nothing all day and like I'm fitting to go get her a mic and put it on here.
I'm fixing to go to bed.
I like reading and learning about myself. I'm pretty interesting to be so boring. That's what Kathy said.
I'm interested even though I'm bored.
I told y'all the story about Stephen put the camera on his wife. She was mad, boy. And she seen that. He had that camera on. They actually a lot of people like that, y'all.
Alright, you got some sandwiches on the counter and you got some potato salad in a bowl in the refrigerator if you want to get some out. Good night, y'all.
All right. You get up 5 o'clock in the morning, Tim, and we go to the river at 6 o'clock in the morning.
I hear you. Alright.
Hey. No, I don't want clock set. Tammy been watching that Yellowstone, I think it is. I went in there and picked a bunch of them series out. She been watching that stuff, boy. I had to stop from watching it where I could go live. And hey y'all, now I know it ain't me, but like the buffet food, we got 2 buffets right here in Dublin, and that stuff ain't good. I mean, I don't know why. You see me more like a king. Prince Danny. Yeah. You know, always been a little different. I have always been a little bit different. Hey, I close my eyes and, you know, and like in a few minutes I start seeing visions. And I never know what I'm going to see. I'm talking about when I start to go to sleep. I never know what I'm going to see. And sometimes I just lay there and see what I am going to see. Man, it's the doggonest thing I ever seen. I know, like, when I learn them drum songs, I see Mr. Danny as having the best of both worlds. Hodges just wanted to say, hey, all right there, Slim. So hello there, Slim. So like when I back was learning the drums and everything, I would play the drums to a song in my head all the way through. And I know something's different about my brain. I don't know what I don't know what it is. But I know something's different, 'cause I can go way out on a limb thinking, boy, I mean like way out there, but it's easy to break my concentration. But I really can go way, way, way out thinking things through. I know you know, I know there's something different about me. I just don't know what it is. Like like people you see, you know, bad apples on here, you know. You are a introverted. Hey, what is that, Shannon? Hey there, Weather. You know, like people like people like Shady Acres, you know. If you like look at, you know, if you can see them and see Shady Acres, they know what I look like. They know what Kathy looks like. They know what everybody looks like, but nobody don't know what Shady Acres looks like because they too embarrassed to put their picture up. But a lot of times, of what somebody's accusing you of, they are like that themselves, but even worse. There's another word I don't know what Alona's talking about. Ex extroverted. Yeah, I might have to look that one up. So y'all tell me what I am. You know? Y'all hear me talking all the time. I don't think I'm normal. I really don't think I'm normal. Man, I'm gonna get me one of them portable chargers just like the one you got. So y'all, I mean, I can take something apart like that trolling motor I got, y'all. I took that thing all the way apart, and I can remember how it goes back together. Like I joke and stuff about. I don't know if I'm gonna be able to remember to put it back together. I I do remember how to put it back together. I just joke about it. Sometimes I tell Tammy, uh, introvert is a person whose personality trait is characterized by focus on initial thoughts, feeling, and moods rather than seeking out external stimulus. Hey, that helps a lot when you you know what I'm talking about? Like, I still don't know. Outgoing. You are very outgoing, sir. You speak your mind, especially if truth is barren, distorted. That I do. That I do. Uh, you live in your thought world a lot, Danny. Deep thinking introvert. Stephen is just like you. Well, I did look that up. What you told me to look up, I did look that up. Might have to think on that. I can tell you this right here. Like, I don't know until I know. I don't know something until I know it. But whenever I know it, I know it. I kinda quit telling my buddy stuff. 'Cause it freaks them out. Introvert and extrovert is how one expresses themselves in a public setting. If you see me in the public, you wouldn't pay me no attention, Alona, because you'll see me sitting back. You won't you won't see me up there like saying, "Hey, listen to me." I, being yourself, Shannon. Now you're right about that. I I I think that like being yourself is important on YouTube. You know, like no lies. Uh, you tell it exactly like it is. Not tell it in the way that sounds good or something like that. I think that like telling things like how it is what I am. So I don't make up stuff, you know. Very authentic. I know that I've talked to women before, and I ain't talking about YouTube women, y'all. You know, like And some of the stuff they say will amaze you, you know. Like whenever I say that all y'all women have one thing in common, uh, that's almost every one of you, you know. At one time or another in your life, because like, uh, it's just the way it is, you know. The world, in my opinion, the world is not a very good place. And a bunch of lies, you know, and and I take pride in being honest. And I just don't make stuff up, you know. Yeah, can we have some lights, Miss Johnson? And man, like women, y'all, and I'm saying men too, but I'm kind of most talking about women. Like, man, they can be so doggone good, boy. Like if you're good to them, really genuine good to them, they won't let nobody talk no trash to them. Like if you come up and you kind of messing with them, they'll mention their husband in the conversation, you know. Ain't no, ain't no do anything for you, you know. I mean, that's the way I see it, because I known a bunch of girls, a bunch of them, like, like so honest, it's unbelievable, you know. Hey, William, I don't know, that's your words, William. Hey, William, I have screen recorders running on me. Everything I say, you will hear it again. Hey, William, that guy charged me $50 to change them two pontoon tires. That's what I was going to call you up and ask you about.
Come on, lady.
And and I'll tell y'all something now that like you can say I'm full of bull or or you can agree, Uh, hell, about forgot what I was going to say. I had to get back to that zone. That's not a bad price. $50. Yeah, I tried to call you up tonight, gonna ask you about that. But it kind of seems like to me that women never, I think they tell me stuff that they won't tell other people. But I don't know what it is, you know. I really don't know what it is. You know, that's what I'm talking about. Being so honest and like, if you tell them a secret, they will never tell that secret, you know. And I never tell that secret neither, you know. But you know, and that's how I've learned a lot, you know, like, hell, y'all, I'm like 68 years old, you know. And I've been around a lot of women. And you can tell they telling the truth too, boy. Yeah, I tell it like it is. I don't beat around the bush. But, and see, I actually think it's something about me that they can tell that I can see anyway. If, as crazy as that might sound. I don't know what the deal is with that. I don't. The answer is your heart. You reckon? Hey, forever, you know, that may be something to what you're saying because you can tell, I can tell, they so honest, man. You say, look here, here's what you do. You go over there and you do this and you don't tell nobody what you're doing. And, and they'll do exactly what you tell them, you know. Don't answer no questions from nobody. And they'll do exactly what you say, you know. And like you can trust and tell. I just, I don't know. I don't know. I don't even know how to explain it. I really don't even know how to explain it. I've learned from you, Pamela, thanks. But I used to talk to women and stuff, you know. Don't hardly ever talk to none no more. I used to have women that worked with me and stuff, and, you know, I was around them, you know. I was around women. But, like, they'll give you complete trust. If you want to know something, you can ask them. And you can tell they telling the truth, you know. Because everything ain't pretty, y'all. There's a bunch of stuff that ain't very pretty. Thank God, remember the girl with the Trump on her lip? The turnip on her lip. That's the type secret you're talking about. The turnip on her lip. Hey, that's right, Judy Johnson. Voices of the heart. And y'all, I know the man that, I knew a man that slipped over to a woman's house and she had another boyfriend. He went and slipped over there and the boyfriend pulled up, but he didn't come in the house. So the man that was there, he put his boots on real fast and went out the back door. It was snow on the ground. And he looked back at his tracks and started laughing. He had his boots on backwards. In the snow, so I don't know if the boyfriend ever found out about that. About the backward boots. But y'all, I have like, like an unreal memory. And sometimes it's a little aggravating, to be able to remember things so good. Like I've said and told Tammy about her mama, whenever I was over there, like everything that was said, when I was over there. And there's some people that remember stuff, but they don't remember like I do. And sometimes they have things a little wrong. And I actually can remember like it was yesterday. Even whenever I was drinking. But the thing about my drinking memory, it don't stay in my head but about a year. And then it fades to black. Now I can remember, like sometimes wish you couldn't remember. But the thing about it is I could remember. But it don't stay in my head like when I got a clear head, like when I had a clear head. I remember a lot of stuff, y'all. And all during the day, y'all, stuff runs through my mind all during the day. And night, too. Like thinking about something that happened 60 years ago. Danny is still mad at some of the children when he was in the preschool for eating his crayons. Yep. I didn't like school, y'all, and I never liked it. So let me tell y'all what I done one year. So I got the idea, I don't know how y'all done it, but like how we done it was we'd have a first period and a second period and a third period, right on up, until you got out. And the whole class would move to a different teacher. Like the teachers didn't move around. The whole class would move to a different class. All right? So it's the first of the school year, and if I had the idea that if you didn't ever go to your last period class, they wouldn't know you were supposed to be there. Him? So I said, my last period class, I'm not going to go to it at all. And I didn't. I'd go out there and get in my car and leave. And one day, the principal was standing out there. He said, why is he leaving at 2 o'clock? And he got to checking into it and everything, and to make a long story short, he found out I was supposed to be going to a science class. And, made me start going to that last class. Man, I done missed like a few months. And the teacher, I went in there and the teacher was mad at me. He said, I got to get you caught up to everybody else. And he started going over stuff, and it was just me and him standing there. Wasn't nothing on paper. And he was asking me these questions, these science questions. And he was amazed at how advanced I was. He told me I was advanced. He was going over what the rest of the class had been doing. And he was just asking me questions, and I was answering the questions. And after about, 45 minutes, he just quit. And, you know, that science I was good at. He married a high school girl. We all knew it, you know. We all knew he liked that little old girl. Whenever she graduated, they got married. I never did understand that. I, I'm talking about a pretty girl. I seen her and stuff, I ain't never talked to her or nothing, but I've seen her. He married that high school girl. What wrong with these men, y'all? That man had to be in his 30s. To this day, I still don't understand it. Wouldn't you want to be with somebody your own age? Yeah. And there was another man too, There was another teacher too that married a little skinny girl. And I didn't ever, I mean, I just, I, I don't get it. I don't get that. And I told y'all about, I was down at my daddy's house. I don't know who all was there, but I know one of them was a state patrol. And I guess I must have been 17 or something. I was still living at home. But he had a girl down there about my age. And I didn't see why she wanted to be around them old men. Everything they was talking about and everything out there. I was going in the house and stuff, and it's like one of the prettiest girls you've ever laid your eyes on. And like, why she want to hang around with them old men? And I mean, I couldn't hardly get over that. I mean, I still ain't over it to this day. And I know the man. He ain't a state patrol no more. And I went up to his business, several times, me and him had something in common. I don't want to say what it was because I don't want nobody to know who I'm talking about. But, I was going up there and he was fixing something for me, and I wound up doing some work for him and building a shelter for him at his work, and doing some work on his roof and stuff. And there was a woman in there, y'all. And I was wanting to ask her, this is like, hell, 40 years later, I reckon, I mean, it's a long time later. And I was wanting to ask her, was she that same girl? I looked at her quite a bit trying to tell, but I couldn't tell if it was her or not. But I almost asked her, boy, was she that girl that was down there with them old men? And when I'm saying old men, they was old to somebody 17 years old. My daddy and that state patrol and them other people, we had a fish fry or something or other. They was old to me. And I mean, I didn't care nothing about what they was saying and laughing about and cutting up. I didn't care nothing about. I mean, I didn't even sit out there with them. You know what I'm saying? I mean, they's old to me. And that girl's about the same age as me. And I just couldn't hardly get over like why she's like wanna hang around with them old people. But I mean, she was there. And I've actually asked her about that, y'all about that before. And y'all was saying like security. Like security. But I mean, maybe some girls just like old men. And I think I know why I was thinking about that too. Tammy's watching that Dallas. That series. She's been watching them series, boy. And that Sue Ellen started messing around with a college student. And, they really liked one another. And it was Sue Ellen's fault, She's the one that, like, come on to him, And I am talking about a TV show. And I missed a bunch of it and all kind of stuff and, but I happened to see it, episodes later, like when everybody's breaking up. And the college student didn't see nothing wrong with the age difference. And Sue Ellen told him, that the age difference will matter later in life. And I have seen, hey y'all, I've seen some men with some women that I thought that was their mama. And it was their wife. But that might have been why I was thinking about that, because that stuff like stick out in my mind, you know. She told the college boy that it would matter later. You know, you know, I don't agree with that. Let me tell you why I don't agree with it would matter later. If you love somebody, you love them. And if you're 50 and they 70, you love them. And they start getting a little older. You know what I mean? So I don't think because your looks change that you quit loving somebody. And you know, in sickness and in health, y'all. I wouldn't run out on Tammy, y'all. Yeah, I was just reading that there forever. I was reading what you were saying there. You know, I mean, I've heard me say it 1,000 times, but man, I wouldn't want no young woman. I wouldn't. But I mean, that's just me, you know. I know I'm a little bit weird, you know. I remember a friend of my daddy's. He was a friend of my daddy's. Matter of fact, that's who Stephen bought the truck from. I remember he used to go to high school and pick his girlfriend up every day from high school. He's still alive. He ain't with her no more. But I don't get it, y'all. I want to tell y'all to kind of start looking out for me at night. It's, I'm quitting that going outside stuff, and just, get out there. And I live with my ex. He doesn't want me, and I don't want him, although we do love each other. Well, dang. Let me tell y'all something corny. You know, I was talking about Tammy coming there talking about, I'm sorry. I do believe love is never having to say, I'm sorry. I do believe that. Hey, Melissa, I have to think about that. I live with my ex. He doesn't want me, and I don't want him, although we do love each other. And that's a hell of a that's a hell of a situation there, Melissa. I mean, that's a hell of a situation, boy. they they live together, but they don't like one another, but they love one another. We have a long history. You are right, Danny. Hey, I think, Melissa, you might have won the $10 tonight. Coming up with one I ain't never heard before. We definitely need to get her on the show, don't we, y'all? Let her tell us about this. Put put her and the husband on there. How about that, y'all? I'm gonna have to think about that one, and I will too. I will think about it. Melissa is the night's winner. That's right. Not that I don't like him. I actually hate him sometimes. Hell no. Family says she'll add $10 to the pot. Oh, I used to give everybody $10 y'all to come up with a reason for laying out of work. But they didn't know I actually doing it. I'm the loser. Yeah. You know, women will usually go on, if things ain't right, Women will usually go on and make a new beginning. But the guy, like, he missed work because he had an ingrown toenail. He won the $10. Heard one man say he didn't have no clean clothes to wear. Roofing, you know. Some of them wore the same clothes 2 or 3 days in a row just to keep from messing their clothes up. Melissa is it for security. Usually, usually y'all women, like, you know, if if things ain't right, I know y'all know what I'm talking about. If things ain't right, they'll move on. And I mean, men ain't like that. But women, like if they figure out, that I ain't happy, they usually will bail out. And, I mean, and I mean, they might not get happy, where they're going. But they know they ain't happy where they're at, and they usually will go searching, you know. I'm still searching myself for the next, you know, the next big thing, you know. I ain't found it yet. Melissa, you do have a choice. You made one with him, so I thought security. I am happy to be here. Make no mistake. I was fit to get off here, y'all. I want to see what this Melissa's saying here. She's done about painted herself in a corner here, and everybody's like, tell me, what the world are you talking about? I do kind of, feel like, that like two people can get old. And, you know, they ain't no rainbow, you know. And, you know, they don't see no rainbow. It isn't right. Good people do not search. They accept and live out their vows. Hey, listen, Alone, I ain't talking about that kind of searching. I'm not talking about searching for a woman. I'm talking about searching for something to do. Like, I done done a lot of stuff. But you know what I'm talking about? Like, so that may be the deal with them, you know. They don't, Melissa and her husband, they don't have no rainbow over yonder to go to, you know. So, they may be just kind of stuck. And, yeah, I don't know. I'm just talking, you know. Like, too old to start over, you know. Yeah, see, Linda's talking about life's too short to be miserable, you know. That's the way a woman thinks, y'all. That's the way most women think. They will move on. I am not miserable. Now, Melissa, you done got everybody like trying to figure this out. You do know that, don't you? Yeah, y'all. I do believe like there's such a thing as too old to start over. And I'm not saying that about Melissa. Yes, I guess it's talking about could be financial reasons. And that's like what I'm talking about too, you know. I mean, I'm throwing that in there too, you know. Like, like it's a hell of a rough world out there, boy. You know, the good men are married, you know, there's more women than there is men, you know. But like the y'all know what I'm saying. The good men is married. Sometimes people stay because of their biblical beliefs. And I know that like some of y'all widowed women, you had husbands that were so good, that they can't be replaced, you know. You know what I mean? Nobody can fill their shoes. I met a bunch of women roofing, bunch of widowed women. That's near about all I worked for, was uh we live in separate areas of the home. That's pretty strange. Melissa, you don't have to explain. No, you don't have to explain. There's probably a good bit of that. I've heard of living miracles of women who make it out on the other side and the grass is greener on the other side. There's truth in that. Yeah, I mean, yeah. Women always seem like to me they do pretty good. When a man and a woman gets a divorce, they always seem like they do pretty good. This is interesting, but 5 a.m. comes early. All right, good night, Will. Now, hey y'all, whatever the reason is, they got their reasons. There is a reason. It ain't she don't know or he don't know. There's a reason, y'all. You know what I mean? I don't know if she'd tell you. There is a reason. And she knows exactly what it is. Probably ain't gonna tell you. But yeah, y'all, I mean, I know a lot of women that, they got divorced. I mean, I know a lot of people. Them women, man, I mean, most of the ones I know step right on up the ladder. And some of them fall behind. I know some that fell behind, that they went down. They went down the ladder. And when you go down that ladder, it's not as easy to come back up as, you know. Me and Tammy get along good, y'all. Like, hey, y'all, like, I have a real strong mind. I do not want pity or anything. I didn't expect for this to be so seen. I am so grateful. Well, I mean, I know if you wanted to go, you'd go, Melissa. I know if you wanted to go, you would go. And she says they live in two parts of that, separate parts of the house, y'all. I mean, that must be what they want to do. I mean, they might get on one another's nerves. We don't know. I know, I know two people that's married and love one another. They work together and everything. They at home together. They go to work. They work together, and they're both of them smart. And I think that uh, I think they argue bad. They both are smart. And Tammy, she gets some stuff wrong, y'all. But I don't like correct her every time she does. Every time like she's got something a little wrong. I don't think that's no good idea. But like I step in when I need to and get her thinking right. Well, Melissa, I tell you what, just my opinion, that's a bad way to live, boy. And what she's talking about there, y'all, there's probably a hell of a bunch of women like that is not satisfied. And you know, like, whether Melissa knows it or not, satisfied is what we're talking about here. And there's a bunch of women, y'all, that are not satisfied. You know, they may be married, they may have been married 50 years. But, you know, like, you know, just not satisfied. I mean, I know some women that I know they ain't satisfied. And they was with their man. And I knew. And I mean, she didn't tell me. The particular one I'm talking about, she didn't tell me she wasn't satisfied. Hell, I know she wasn't satisfied. I could tell it. Ellie sat there and accused her of running around. I said, man, what? I said, you know she ain't done that. Why you like messing with her like that? He thought it was funny. Him just accuse her for the hell of it. And I was looking at her whenever he did. She started shaking her head no and sitting up in the seat. And I said, man, why you do her like that? Over here, y'all, we don't play games. I never asked Timmy something just to see what she'll say. Hell, man, I already know. I don't have to ask her. I tell you what, Melissa, if you give me your email, I'll put you on here right now. I'll put you on here right now. I send you a link. You come right in this room right here. If you want to, I'll do it. I am happy I haven't achieved joy just yet. I am happy. So she's happy, y'all. You're not that brave? You know, if you got on here, I'd be able to tell if you was telling the truth. That may be a mystery, y'all. We don't never find out, you know. I can tell you this right here, y'all. And as simple as it is, you may not never really be put this together. But when people are aggravated, it's almost always because they are not doing what they want to do. Almost always. Like, you think about that. That's not a problem. The truth, I would not make this up. Well, I know you wouldn't make it up. I was just talking about, like, if you go to throwing curveballs while you was talking to me, I'd be able to tell it. You know, if you were to start throwing curveballs. But yeah, y'all, when you see people that are aggravated, they usually are not doing what they want to do. Like I brung the umbrella. You know, I broke an umbrella down at the river. It flew out of the boat, broke. I caught it, but like, yeah, I see that, Melissa. I caught the umbrella, y'all, but it hit the boat like it come up out the holder, and I caught it in midair. But it hit the boat and broke. Parts of it went out the river. The whole thing went out the river. But I got another one. And Tammy was watching, let's see, what's that series Kevin Costner in it, y'all? So somebody will figure out what the series is with Kevin Costner in there. So I got the new umbrella out of the box. You know, I told you I was planning on going to the river tomorrow. And I told Tammy, I said, I'm fitting to get that umbrella and bring it in here. And I want you to put it together. Yellowstone, y'all. Tammy's watching Yellowstone. I said, I want you to take this umbrella and put it together. Boy, Yellowstone was on, and she had to put the umbrella together. Oh man, she was showing out. I said, you want me to help you? Nah, I got it. She wasn't doing what she wanted to do. You see what I mean? She wanted to watch that Yellowstone. She ain't want to put no umbrella together and put the top down over the little things and stuff, you know. Hey, I said, you know what? I said, I ain't mad. I ain't mad. I said, well, I just set it down. I do it. I done got it now. You know, she wasn't doing what she wanted to do, y'all. I mean, it's just that simple, you know. Like, I'm sitting there and I know all that stuff, you know. Hey, hey, Melissa. Man, you probably ought to search your heart, you know. And, and y'all, she might be one of them women like, let me tell you, like, women can be by themselves and they can form a life where they are by themselves and they make it just fine. I mean, there's women like that, y'all, that like, that, they do the same thing every day. And and they can do that same thing the rest of their life without a man. So I'm saying, Melissa, search your heart. And like, there may be something hidden in there. Yeah, there's some men like that, but us men, we need a woman, But women can do it better. They put a wall around their house. And they can do that every day like it ain't nothing. And, get up and cook what they want and eat what they want to eat and watch what they want to watch. But that really might not be like what you want to do, but it can be so habit forming that you don't even think about the rest of the world and the huggy and the kissy. You know what I mean? Yeah, you know what I mean. The huggy and the kissy. Some of them women could sit there and just do without that. They don't need it in their life. At least that's what they tell themselves. I don't need no huggy and kissy. I don't need no man holding the remote control. I watch and do that just like I want to do. If I don't want to cook, I don't cook. And I know y'all women are smart. I do know y'all smart. But like, you just may be missing out, You may be missing out. You might could be getting them little huggy and kisses. Tammy gets her huggies and kisses, y'all. Don't think she don't get her huggies and kisses. She gets them. She'll tell you right fast like how lucky she is. I've talked to her about it and she, I've heard her talking, She Tammy has freedom, y'all. She has freedom, and then she also has me too. And she gets a little huggy and kisses. I may get my eyes open one day, but for now, my eyes are closed. Yeah. I don't know how old you are, Melissa. Hey, y'all, don't think she don't know what she wants now. And she never may be thought about it that much. But don't think she don't know. If she searches her heart, you know. Danny, I've been so lonesome without my husband. I bet you have, Beverly. I bet you have. Yeah, I mean, you might. And I'm like, so let me tell y'all something. Like I ain't been telling you nothing. Let me tell y'all something. Hey, sometimes you do have to search your heart, you know? And quit thinking the way you always thought. I can live this life every day. Like search your heart, you know? And I mean, you know, you can block stuff out, you know? Like, I mean, I'm telling y'all, I'm searching now, y'all. But I'm not searching for a woman. I'm not searching for a woman. I'm searching for something to do. I've had to reconfigure for sure. Yeah. You know, like me and Tammy, for example. Now I know this ain't like everybody, you know, but like Tammy needs time to herself. So I don't need time for myself too much. But Tammy needs time to herself. She don't need all the time to herself. But she needs time to think about what she wants to think about and what she wants to do. And I let her do it, you know. But like kind of just sit back and think about things, you know. Like, what would make my life more complete, you know? And I cannot think of one single thing that I can go do. Not one single thing. But I'm still thinking every day, what can I do? What can I do that'll make me happy? So you know what I'm planning on doing tomorrow? Planning on going down to the river. And then I'm going to be back at home and I'm going to watch the video and look at where the rocks are and all that. And then what? You know what I'm talking about? Then what? Buy me a trampoline, start jumping on the trampoline. What am I going to do then? What are you going to do? Hear me? I've done almost everything, y'all. I don't understand the question about who, Danny. Tammy talking about like, I want to go walk on the beach. I said, at night. I said, that's what you want to do? Go walk on the beach? Oh, yeah, okay. What you want to do is go walk on the beach? I said, I done it, y'all. She wanted to go walk on the beach at night. She would never do that by herself, y'all. I went with her, walked on the beach. Had my arm around her, little kissy and huggy. I said, are you ready? Let's go back to the motel. She said, yeah, I guess so. You know, I like that. I've told y'all about it before. That Penny Colada song. You know, the man or the woman put a ad in the paper. If you like penny coladas, getting caught in the rain and all that, like saying what they like, and both the man and the woman was laying in the bed, and the other one seen it and answered, yeah, I like pina coladas and getting caught in the rain, and that walking on the beach and that kind of thing, and then they met, The woman answered the ad, and they went and met. And they said, oh, it's you. You know what I'm talking about? They went and met. Sometimes you have to do that, you know. You know, I used to talk to y'all about getting a wall built up between a man and a woman, like respecting one another so much. They get a little wall built up in between them, and I thought y'all thought I was crazy, you know. And then one woman was brave enough to say, "You're right, Danny." One woman, you know, like, you know, you want to, he wants to, and got this little wall built up in between you. And you just neither one of them say, neither one of you say, "Hey, baby, let's do it like we used to," you know? But like, it's just years of respect. Y'all girls know what I'm talking about. And the only one woman said, "That's right, Danny." Keep that wall tore down. See, you know what I'm thinking about? I'm thinking about I might tan your hide tonight. And I mean it too. I ain't playing around. I'm talking about tan your hide. And you know what? You just might have a wild woman on your hands, you know. I want to tell y'all I appreciate y'all coming in here, y'all. Y'all look for me. Y'all look for me at nights. Might be on here sometime during the day. I'll tell you more about tanning the hide, and pina coladas, and getting out in the rain, having a good time, and building a fire. A little bitty fire. Until about 11 o'clock that night, it's a tower inferno. And you say, "Don't you talk to me like that unless you mean what you saying." Well, I mean every word. I mean every word I said. So hey y'all, if y'all want to, I'll tell y'all about it. Hey Melissa, search your heart. You hear me, girl? Yeah, every girl loves a fire, Melissa. But like you might have to break through that wall. But every girl loves a fire. You might have to get it out of them. They might even tell you, "Nah." But you don't listen. You don't listen. Good night, everybody. We'll see y'all next time on Hodges Live. Good night, everybody. Thank y'all for everything. Night, night, y'all.